Besides, I don't really want to make out with a garbage can. I don't really smell that bad. Hey, Fred. Where's your head at? No. Oh no! Your heart seemed to stop, and a heart-rending scream burst out your throat. Hello everybody, I'm Degenerate, and welcome back to Rotten Dinner. We're gonna try and finish and get the rest of those endings that we didn't get last time. Last time we did every ending that pertained to like wearing that weird necklace. So we're gonna not wear the necklace this time. And yeah, the game is not supposed to be saved. You're not supposed to save it. That's why it's like this. Let us begin. I'm really old enough for such trinkets. I hope something interesting happens today. You put the necklace back on the table. Take one last look around the room and leave. To this grossness. A cup of bitter coffee has already cooled down when you fully packed up and came to drink it. This cheap-ass coffee is really invigorating, but how disgusting it is. Why it says but what am I gonna do? When I get a job, I'll buy myself a can of normal coffee. No, 2 cans. I have to spoil myself. Yeah. The road to the university in the morning wasn't so terrible, but in the evening you had to look around and keep a knife in your pocket. This district is really shitty. And now, finally, you have come to your institute, a place where you became convinced that some people are rare scum. Back in high school, you realized that life isn't sugar, and it's not a teen show at all. That's why there's no group of cool kids or school queen surrounded by her personal maids. Everyone here is the same, tired guys who want to get a college education. Well, it's probably not like that everywhere. You're just lucky. Don't start the morning so damn pessimistic. So some are different though. They really can't be envied. Or souls become punching bags from day one. Why? Because the strong can do it to them. Don't ask unnecessary questions and don't stand out. That's what life has taught you so far. I think here we can't even interact with him. Like we can't even save him. Huh? What happened? You're trying to squeeze through the crowd. Is someone being beaten again? It's such a frequent occurrence that everywhere had to forget. What? Everyone had to forget about it and pass by, but you keep looking every time. You know how much the students of this university love the sight and smell of blood, which is weird. You come closer to see what is happening and swear that you have not joined this indifferent herd. No, you would definitely help, but you'll see first. Oh, I should have known. Hi, Nick. You didn't greet him so seriously. Most likely, he hardly heard you at all. Nick is the main victim of this sinister place. His leg was broken on the first day, and the second, the contents of the trash can were poured on his head. And he didn't remember much else. Just think of any stereotypical bullying in high school and multiply that by 2. That's what this guy experienced. Why are they bullying him? No one knows. And no one dares to try to find out. Everyone ignores and avoids him, fearing to fall under the hot hand of the main scumbags of the university. You're one of those people, weak, pathetic, insignificant, but you can't help yourself, let alone him. I'm sorry, little one, but I still value my life. I have 3 more years to study here, and I don't want to turn them into my personal hell. So we don't even get the choice to try to save him. You feel the prick of conscience, but only for a second. After all, you'd ignored bullying this guy for years. So what now? Will you become a hero? Will you become the protector of the weak? You're not going to lie to yourself. It's stupid and pointless. We're gone. None of your friends are here today. These morons are sick. Or rather drunk and hungover. You don't really like alcohol even though your whole life is leading you down the path of alcohol or addiction. But we're not supposed to be pessimistic, right? But by happy coincidence, you became neither. Yay. Even though everyone who's ever been to your house, the first thing they ask you is, are you getting high? Right. You just smiled crookedly at that. The faces of already tired and sleep-deprived students lidded? Yeah. Lidded around, making your head spin, and you lean against the wall where you watch your endlessly bleak faces. Their endlessly bleak faces from under your covered eyes. Not that university is a place for fun, but it doesn't have to be that dreary, does it? Truth be told, you didn't really like the company of people, but you couldn't run away from them. That's probably why you didn't have many friends. But it didn't bother you at all. Though you had a hard time going to university without those goofballs. Maybe you should try encouraging yourself with something sweet. Really? You don't consider yourself a sweet tooth, but it's better to indulge in high blood sugar than something else. Drugs. You really giggled idiotically to yourself about that dirty joke. What? It's all the influence of your stupid friends, obviously. Lunchroom. You hear this song? I love this song. I like it. You walk into the cafeteria and that's when the school bell rings. But you're not in the mood for lectures today, even if you just sleep through them. While you're looking at your feet, someone quickly approached you. You didn't even have time to raise your head as you felt a huge weight on you and heard a hideously squeaky voice that could belong to only one person. You bend under the weight of someone else's body and shout something unintelligible, but clearly not in a positive way. Fred, get off me. Fred? Look at this shirt. This guy immediately peels away from you with a nasty laugh. You can't help but admit you're glad to see him. Look at all these hairs. Sorry. What are you doing here? Didn't you go down with a hangover? Yeah, go down with a hangover yesterday? What bullshit? I'm completely sober, don't you see? You looked at him like a delinquent preschooler, caught in a lie. Your thick glasses don't help. I can see the whites of your eyes. Whites of your eyes red, you dummy. Besides, weren't you puking so hard yesterday you dropped your phone down the toilet while you were talking to me? Oh my gosh. Fred's face took on a blank expression. It used to scare you, but now you know that's just who he is. This guy is your neighbor. Sometimes my neighbor? So he heard me get eaten last time. Nice. Unless he was out doing drugs. Sometimes it surprises you because you don't see him 99% of the time. He usually hangs out in your friends' houses, on the street, and even in junkyard, but not at home. That answers my question. And he smells like that too. Sometimes you wonder if he even washes. Oh. Fred, when was the last freaking time you took a bath? Yikes, he didn't say anything, and he's confused? Why? It's not a question normal people would have a problem with. You laughed softly. It was a good question. It was a good decision to come here. You don't feel like eating anymore, so you decide to spend your time talking to Fred. We go for a walk in the halls. There's nothing to do anyway. I'm always for it. But don't you have to go to a lecture? You cast a look at Fred that he understands without words. The guy smiled, and you leave the cafeteria. Hey, we're chilling. Skipping class? Let's go. A moment later, you and Fred are already in the hallway, and oh, what a shame. You can't look at your beautiful face because some girl is walking right in front of you. Bad luck. What? But it doesn't stop you from enjoying a conversation with an old friend who decided to put his hand on your head. Freak. He was always so tall and always took advantage of that. Oh! This right here! I was like, what? How would I be able to look myself? Am I looking in the mirror? No. They just mean the actual picture is covering my head. Damn, I'm short! Despite his slender figure, he was really heavy. You wandered the halls and talked about whatever came to mind. He always has something to talk about. You can't help but admit that you felt— why did the words do that? That's so creepy. You're like, oh, what a shame. You can't see your face. What the f***? It's a CG. Stop. That was creepy. Just a little bit. You can't help but admit that you felt much better when you were around your friends. Fred went from one intonation to another. I don't never seen that word in my life. To be from cute and glorious stories to descriptions of cases when he found all sorts of crap in a variety of conditions. What? You didn't like consistency? He was the very embodiment of disorder and changeability. Sometimes you didn't really listen to what he was saying. You just liked his company. You're lucky to know people who are even crazier than you. That's crazier. We haven't chatted like this in a long time. I'm glad we had this opportunity today. You're so sensitive today. Go ahead and give me a kiss on top of that. Fred grimaced and pursed his lips. Ew. You pushed him away with a laugh. Screw you, I'm just a good friend. Besides, I don't really want to make out with a garbage can. I don't really smell that bad. Evening came faster than you thought it would. Not that you were keeping track of time, but it was really fast. Yo. Yeah, I enjoyed skipping your classes. Let's do it again. Right, by the way, what are you doing here? You were expelled during your freshman year. Fred chuckled at the absent look on his face. Oh, and the absent look on his face reappeared, no wonder. I'll forget it. You stretched and breathed? What? In the cold evening air. Well, I think it's time. I'm being interrupted again. Go back. I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Oh, wait a second, please. Nick? What would you like? Is it Nick? Hi, can we help you? The guy was silent. Had he forgotten how to talk? Fred stared at him for a while, and then with a smile on his face, he perked up. Oh, Nicky, it's you. You look shabby. Nick didn't even look in his direction. It was strange. But he realized that apparently it was you who he was approaching. Huh? Not polite to ignore people like that, you know? Nick was still unresponsive. He seemed to be gathering his thoughts, poor guy. Maybe he was uncomfortable speaking in front of Fred, although it's kind of weird. You're okay with it in general. The guy whispered something under his breath. You looked at Fred. There was a request in your eyes for Fred to go away and leave the two of you alone. Intervene between the two of you and then go home together? With Nick? Huh? I guess let's do the first one. You knew each other well enough to understand intentions by a glance and a slight movement of the head. Fred nodded and looked at his hand as if checking the time on his wristwatch. Wow, it's so late I have to go to Amy's party. Party? I mean, take me with you, please. I'm scared. Yeah, I'll go early. Bye, degenerate. Nick? Nick didn't even try to look in his direction, so he didn't notice the sneer. The smile on his face twitched and grew even wider. I guess it's just me and you again. You nodded your thanks to Fred with a smile. The guy waved goodbye and quickly walked away into the darkness of the courtyards. Gosh, hey, poor thing, how are you? What? Aren't you afraid to talk to me anymore? Nick jumped up on the spot. Don't worry, you're trembling so much, even though I'm not threatening you. It's okay, what do you want? Nick adjusted glasses and seemed to look okay. Sorry, I get so awkward when I talk more than one person. Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed that. I just really got my mind so confused as I walked over here. In general, do you mind if I walk you home? I don't know. You gonna eat me like last 2 times? I began to think that he wanted to achieve by this walk. Talk about something? Get to know you better? On the whole, you didn't even mind. Nick seems nice, and you always wanted to chat with him, but not enough to make the first move. Your neighborhood is not very prosperous. If something happens... Something? Something? You mean like cannibalism? You examine Nick again. It's a little hard for you to realize that this not-so-big guy seems to want to protect you. Interesting. At least two of us will get... Oh my gosh. At least the two of us will get beaten up. Bro. You're sputtering with quiet laughter. It's more like the truth already. You walk here every night anyway. So maybe it's a sensible idea to go with someone else. Just to be more relaxed. This guy scares me. Like, the whole day you just had blood on your nose? Okay. And shirt? Right. Nick walked beside you, sometimes nervously touching his glasses and hair. You noticed that he was very tall, even taller than Fred. Then I must be really short. But because he was hunched over, it wasn't that noticeable. Sometimes in the light of lanterns and in a particular strong gust of wind, you noticed the gleam of his brown eyes. You even got the impression that there was some kind of red glow in them. Oh, really? You asked Nick all sorts of things, told him life stories, and he, in turn, answered quietly and smiled as he listened to you. Can you stop, like, going when I don't press anything? I don't press anything, it just goes. What, do you have scars on your face? It's about... Oh no. I'm sorry, I don't want to remind you of that. Oh, it's okay, really. It's not something you need to worry about. Yeah, they showed up after all that abuse, but I don't really care. I have a lot of scars. The most unpleasant thing they did was almost blind me because of them. I have aniscoria. Now I can see with both eyes almost the same, although blurry. What? I didn't know those bastards were capable of such a thing. Oh my god. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Thank you for your concern. You're welcome. I really like you a lot. Really? You flinched. Oh, that was pretty unexpected. Weird. Is that what he wanted to tell you? Your heart raced. Thanks? Oh god, I think it's just affection. You couldn't really fall in love with me at first sight. Nick flushed. I'm sorry to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just that I'm sure of it. I know for a fact that I love you so much. Enough to eat me, apparently. And not in the good way. Your breath caught. It was so childish to confess to someone you'd never spoken to. But you really found it fascinating. I'm really flattered. But I can't answer you in the same way. I'm not sure I can so quickly. Don't worry, I don't expect reciprocal feelings from you. I just feel so much better when I tell you about it. Nice. That was sweet. Nick wasn't repulsive, and even despite his unexpected confession, you really didn't feel awkward. Sure, you felt weird, but it was an unusually warm feeling. Nice. While you were talking, you didn't notice how you got to your house. You didn't want to stop chatting with Nick because you two obviously hit it off. And you were very happy about it. Thanks for the conversation and the walk. I look forward to meeting you tomorrow if you don't mind. I don't mind at all. Thank you for seeing me off. Oh, and I thought you were studying in a different building. Oh, I just recently transferred. Today was the first day I attended the lectures here. As you can see, these guys get me everywhere. Nick yanked at the collar of his bloody shirt and grinned. Oh, that was an M. My apologies. That's optimism and a thirst for knowledge. Oh, I could tell a few more stories, but it's cold outside, so I'm gonna go home. No one's waiting for me there, so don't worry about the late hour. Nick rubbed his neck and smiled. He looked so innocent, it's even startling. Hey, if you don't have to go anywhere, you can come over to my place. What? I'm not expecting anyone to visit and I have no business. Fred's room is empty and I don't think he'd mind if you'd slept over. Oh my gosh. I think you're going to be embarrassed. I'll stay with you for a while and then I'll call a cab and go home so you can sleep in peace. Right? Is that wings growing behind his back? God. What? Wings? After a bunch of sleepovers with total strangers, I'm really used to it. Thank you very much. You're very caring. Really. I'm even embarrassed. We're quite different. Shoot, I'm sorry. Let's go inside already. You and Nick went home. Dad looked around carefully and closed the door behind him. I'm sorry, I didn't think I can get you anything. I don't have much food at home. It's okay. I have a It's okay. I have a special diet anyway. Do you also have stomach problems? Are you just keeping yourself in shape? Neither. I guess it could be described as specific preferences. You're a freak. I'll be sure to tell you about it and let you taste. You're gonna make me eat myself? That would be great. Do you drink coffee? I'd make you a cup. I wouldn't mind. I'm going to wash my hands, okay? And maybe your face? Yes, of course. The bathroom is where you could finish talking. Nick was gone. You shrugged your shoulders. It's not hard to guess where the bathroom is in this little house. The coffee was already ready and even cold. Did he drown in the toilet? You put your hands on the table and then you lie down on them to close your eyes. And close your eyes. Not very polite to leave, someone like that? But maybe he's trying to wash his shirt now. Right. It's covered in blood after all. Or he's treating wounds. You have nowhere to go in a hurry and you can just warm up the coffee, it's fine. Don't like scare me or anything. Oh, doorbell. Really? As soon as I lay down, someone came? Fine. You opened your eyes and already stood up to approach and open to the uninvited guest, but something stopped you. A man on the other side of the door would not let you and kept pounding with your hands. What? Your whole body is stiff, you couldn't even breathe. What's happening? You tried to turn around but to no avail. Your heart was pounding at an insane rate. You understood what that feeling was? What is it? Fear? It was a moment before death. Oh! Oh my gosh. Stop it. It says don't open the door. But it's like, you're giving me so many options. It's like, might as well, right? Let's do the top one. No. No. There was a nausea? Yeah, coming up to your throat. The fear didn't recede. It only ate you up more. The knocking on the door didn't stop. You felt as if that was the sound that would be the cause of your death. Don't open the door. Nick looked at you dumbfounded. You were finally able to move. Oh, is someone here? You flinched when you heard another knock on the door. Hey, let me go home, please. I lost my keys again. Was it Fred? You didn't hear him call you before that. Well, what just happened anyway? He looked at Nick again. He wasn't smiling anymore. To be honest, he looked so upset. It's a shame, so we'll have to take our relationship to the next level sooner than I thought. What? Too bad, I wanted to be with you. Oh my gosh. I wanted to be with you like this for as long as possible. What do you mean? Nick took a couple steps closer to you, and you felt a sharp pain in your head. It felt like it was splitting apart. Oh shit. Before you fainted, you heard someone's high-pitched scream. My own? Never mind. Tried to come around a little bit. You felt a terrible aching pain in the back of your head. I'm thirsty. What happened? Oh, you're awake. I am. The voice echoed in your mind. You lifted your head and through the red haze in front of your eyes, you could see a figure in front of you. Nick, is that you? What happened? You whispered all those words slowly, barely moving your tongue. Yes, it's me. It's just a bad set of circumstances, but it's okay. Open your eyes. I did something for you. Did you? This guy is like... Okay, well, there's nothing here. Like, I'm just seeing you, buddy. It really is, Nick. You felt a little better, but your body was still heavy and your head was aching. How are you? Does it hurt a lot? Does what hurt? Everything seems to be fine. What happened? I can't remember anything. Just those freaking knocks on the door. And that scream. Hey, didn't Fred come home? Yeah, he did. That's right, he came in. I opened the door for him because you fainted. Well, let's not talk about it. It's all because you're not eating well. I prepared something. Wait, let me tidy up a bit. Oh my gosh. I'm scared. That's better. Taking off your glasses. I feel insignificant with these glasses and my hair in a ponytail. I didn't even notice his hair was in a ponytail. I was so like scared. But you can't cook when your hair is loose. You don't want to get a mess of hair inside instead of a nice dinner, do you? No! You blinked to realize what had just happened. What? What are you talking about? Where's Fred? Why didn't you call an ambulance if I fainted? What a lot of questions. Yeah, let's eat first. I made such a wonderful steak. I'm an excellent cook. Taste it. You snorted rudely and tried to get out of your chair, but at the same moment you realized what the heaviness in the body was. What the? Why am I tied up? You tried to see a hint of Nick's face, and he was just making a bad joke. But all you could see was irritation. Please be quiet, okay? Totally. I don't feel well because of the noise. Right. And you think I'm feeling good? So we're gonna yell more? Nick covered his eyes and took a deep breath. They're trying to snap. No, trying not to snap. Please be quiet and eat with me, okay? After that, I'll be sure to explain everything to you. You exhaled nervously. Said nothing back. That's good. Thank you, sunshine. Uh-huh. Oh. Now say ah. Is this nigga? You could smell the pleasant smell coming from what Nick was holding up to you, and even obediently opened your mouth to eat it. Just because it smells good doesn't mean it is good. Whose meat is this? Why would you ask whose meat it is? Already assuming it's a person? Nick froze but didn't take his fork away from your face. He obviously wasn't going to answer that question. You're not allergic to it, don't worry. It's delicious, really. Come on, just eat it. Can I say we're on a date? This guy is so funny. You look so beautiful, but your face is a little pale. You need to eat. Whose meat is this? Why are we yelling again? Didn't we hear him last time? You started twitching, trying to get out of the ropes, but they were tied awfully tight. Don't you understand me, or are you just mocking me? Well, let me ask you then. Rather to be ungrateful. Eat. Correct answer, wrong answer. Dang, I wish I could save and then come back. Jesus Christ. Let's just eat it. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. Stop it. I hope you'll enjoy it. I will. You opened your mouth and obediently ate a piece of meat of unknown origin. After which Nick immediately poked a new one. So cute when you listen to me. Oh my gosh, really? It's times like this that I feel like we're getting closer. Are we? You have no idea how close we're going to be soon. You felt tears coming to your eyes. Is it good, love? It's delicious. So good. Familiar taste. Yeah. That was... yeah. Skippity skip. Let's do the first one, but then let's pick... doesn't matter here. Let's pick the wrong answer. Uh-oh, he's angry. I'm not eating that crap. You scum. I just wanted to please you with my great food. Oh, with great food. I wanted to be a good guy, but no. Was that hard for you to eat a bite? You couldn't even do it after the way you treated me this morning? Yes, I'm saying this to you. I don't know who the fuck he think he's talking to. It's definitely not me. But I'm not offended because I love you. Oh, don't test my patience. I want to be loving in your sense of it. I want to take care of you, to feed you. Isn't that romantic? Don't forget our disagreements. Oh wait, forget about our disagreements? Oh my god, there's another one. Just say, okay. I hope you'll enjoy it. Oh, it just happens. Same thing happens. No. Okay, I'll just wait for you to get tired. Are you serious? Do we just sit here and keep... Are you dumb? Are we really playing this game right now? There we go. Intervene between the two. And then go home together. You knew each other well enough to understand the intentions by a glance and the slight movement of your head. Hey, we have to hurry, otherwise we won't make it in time for Chloe's arrival. Oh yes, I'm sorry, but we're in a big hurry to get home. Can we talk tomorrow? Nick turned even more pale. He seemed to say something quietly, maybe something like, yes, of course, but you decided not to ask. If it's something important, I'll listen to you. No, it's not. Oh. I mean, I would say it isn't. Nick turned around and quickly left in an unknown direction. You thought the poor guy was gonna cry. God, he was so upset. You're such an asshole. Me? What? I'm the asshole? You played me without a second thought. And right now I'm conscious. My conscience is killing me. I will apologize to him tomorrow. Let's just go home. Right. You're about to just bum rush into the door, watch. And violently kill Fred and then violently feed me him. You and Fred walked slowly toward home, teasing each other along the way and talking about things as if you hadn't spoken all day. Tired, nothing to eat again? Bro, coffee and yogurt. As always, I forget about that. I'll get us something to eat. So you're gonna leave. I'm still looking for a part-time job. I don't have much money to pay for food delivery. Lord, I'll pay for you. Do you really think I'll eat while you drool and sip coffee? I'm a good friend. Thank you very much. I'll give you the money later. For the first time in a month, I'm going to eat normally. Oh my gosh. We're constructing ourselves some food. That's crazy. Fred rolled his eyes, but he knew he couldn't change your mind and make you not pay him back. Look, excuse me for using profanity and not speaking French in your high society. He tapped Fred on the shoulder with a laugh. You so kill me, I'll remember something in French. Nope. I'm not even gonna attempt to do that. His voice, when he portrayed something, made you cry with laughter. You turned away and ran to the bathroom so you wouldn't have to hear his shouting in broken French anymore. What's our bathroom look like? You shut the door behind you and begin to undress and take a bath. Okay. You should be in there. The hot water was always cozy, almost like a bed, but wet. Right. Ooh, this is not the good. No, it's no. This isn't a good look. It's just not. Something is gonna pop up right here, and it's gonna scare the fuck out of me. I know it is. You turn on the faucet and with your knees to your chest, leaning against the wall of the tub. It's cold and the water hasn't warmed up yet. It's awful. Why would you get in there first before the water became hot? That's stupid. Thoughts of the day filled your head and you remembered Nick, poor thing. I hope he's not offended by me. Didn't I listen to him at all? We'll talk tomorrow for sure. Shadow appeared behind the bathroom curtain. You chuckled. Fred was either trying to scare you or fooling around again. You weren't embarrassed by his presence. He was like a little brother to you, so you weren't afraid to be alone with him. Even naked. In the bathtub. Fred, if you open that curtain, I'll kick you out of the house. But for some reason, he didn't move. You felt uncomfortable and pressed your knees together, your knees harder. Fred, please say something. You know I'm easily frightened. Don't be a bastard. We've talked about this so many times. You just stood still. He's just standing there. You're about to open the curtain and look behind it, but your hands were shaking. The thought that it wasn't Fred standing there made you shiver. You better not see who's standing there. Your breath is out of breath. You were so scared. There was nothing at hand that could be your weapon, and you just hoped that the shadow would disappear. What? I heard it in my ear. My gosh. You heard a quiet hum that made you flinch. Oh no. Oh my. Oh no. You opened your eyes with horror and no one else was on the other side of the damp curtain. Tears came out of your eyes. You felt so miserable. What the hell was that? I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna seriously smash his freaking face in. Fear was replaced by anger and you pulled the curtain open with force. No one was there. You exhaled in relief and began to dress quickly. Fred, oh no. This is terrible. You froze and stared in horror at what you saw in front of you. Finally here. I've always been here. Oh my gosh. I guess dinner served? I don't know. I already wanted to, Jesus, I'm stuttering and I already wanted to bring him to you. And he's heavy, you know. But for your sake, I don't mind. You couldn't realize what was going on. Jesus. It seemed as if the guy's voice was coming from somewhere far away. It was Fred in his hands. The room reeked of blood. Hey, Fred. Where's your head at? No. Oh no! Oh no! You threw up. It was impossible. Scream, silent. Scream. Be loud. You clutched your hands to your head and huddled open your mouth to scream. A tongue piercing. Wait a minute. That's an interesting turn of events. I suddenly changed my mind. But in the same second, in one long jump, Nick was beside you and grabbed you by the throat, roughly pressed against the wall. Don't even think about it. Uh-oh. I hate loud noises. You're telling me. It'd be nice to keep quiet, okay? Totally. I assure you, pretty soon, you won't have to hold back your scream anymore. What? You just told me you didn't like it. You felt the lack of oxygen. Nick licked the knife. And it seems like his blood cut from the cut tongue mingled with Fred's. When you remembered Fred's corpse, you involuntarily felt a mad rush of fear that coursed through your entire body. Nick's grip got a little weaker, so you started screaming and calling for help again. Shut your mouth. Is that too much to ask? Don't I deserve to enjoy my last seconds with you? Maybe after you... What? But no, you will get on my nerves. You will scream? Do you want it to hurt? To play with me? Do I? Let's play, sweetie. You'll be in so much pain that you'll start begging me to die. Oh, tomorrow I'll be eating the toughest steak I've ever had. Me. Tough meat. Let's stay silent, see what happened. You clutched your hands to your head and huddled open your mouth to scream, but you couldn't make a single sound. But in the same second, in one long jump, Nick was beside you and grabbed you by the throat, roughly pressed against the wall. Think about it. I hate loud noises. It'd be nice and keep quiet. I assure you, pretty soon you won't have to hold back your scream anymore. You shook your whole body even more. Oh my gosh. You were scared of death after all. But you were even more scared because of that knife in front of your face. You nodded, and the tears came out of your eyes with renewed vigor. Maybe he wouldn't kill you if you were more obedient. You seem to have found common ground. We seem to have found common ground. That's great. But we'll say goodbye on a touching note, with a good impression of each other. More precisely, I'm already impressed with you. No, I'm already in love with you. Crazy, madly in love. Isn't that what they call addiction? Uh-huh. I think it is. You know, when you can't live without someone, just as you say, it's just you can't live without air. Nick squeezed his hand harder around your neck. So I can't live without you. Uh-huh. So embarrassed. This is to you looking into the eye, too intimate. Nick bit his lip. He really did seem to find his words romantic. Oh my gosh, I want to taste. Oh my gosh. I want to taste you so bad. Really. For a second, when you heard those words, you started to believe that he was about to let you go, but Nick didn't unclench his hand. Ooh. He started deliberately blocking your ear. You felt an unbearable pain. Have you really... What? Have you really thought about sex after everything? God, sweetheart. What are you talking about? I was being literal. My gosh. Oh my gosh. Like... What? Literally what? This guy is a comedian. He's funny. He's funny. I know you were being literal. I'm not stupid. It would have been nice though to be the other option, you know? Your lungs felt as if they were on fire. You struggled to scratch and tear at Nick's hand. There was absolutely no strength left in your body. The main course is right in front of me. Right. A lump of meat. 8. Okay, so I got 2, 3, 4, 5. I just got 7, 8, and 9. I'm missing like 6 and 1, right?
A few moments later.
Okay, so we are missing 2 endings. So, what we are supposed to do is we're supposed to start again. I had to close the game and then open it again. So, yeah. Right? But this time we put on our necklace again. Weird, right? Okay, then we're supposed to help him. And then when we get to here, we just run. Like we did the first time, I think. Oh, never mind. Oh, we picked quietly turn around. Run! Wee. I did that one, so let's do this one. Just give up. It doesn't make any sense. Whether he killed you or killed you now or caught up with you and stabbed you in the back, you would die. You would die anyway, which is true. You began to choke back tears. The killer finally lifted you off the ground, and just as you were about to be stabbed in the stomach with a blade, but they pressed you against them. You could definitely feel the warmth of a body, and clearly hear someone else's heartbeat. The whole thing started to drive you crazy, and you finally fainted. You heard the familiar disgusting sound of the alarm clock. I want to open my eyes. You were able to see your room. Was it a crappy dream? You touched your clavicles. They were small, deep cuts, already covered by a thin crust. Your hands were shaking. You need to get up. Wait. You jump off the bed abruptly and felt a disgusting weakness in your legs, which immediately caused you to fall to your knees. You can feel yourself starting to choke. Everything in front of eyes was disgustingly floating. Fear was persuasive. You remembered everything you had smelled and heard that day. The memories made you burst into tears of fear. God. gosh, you couldn't stop wheezing and trying to scream. Why are you still alive? What's going to happen to you? Who was that? They do this. Try to put your thoughts in order, even though you were shaking like a fever. You remembered how you were once taught to breathe during a panic attack. And close your eyes and try to distract yourself so you wouldn't start sobbing and panting again. Experiencing too much has always been difficult for you. Hello? After a few minutes, you could finally think more soberly. But your strength had completely left your body. I can't lie here forever. I have to go to the police, and we'll find out what it was. You stroked your shoulders and felt the wounds left by your fingernails. You got up off the floor and examined yourself for handcuffs, ropes, and crap like that. But obviously no one had kidnapped you or even tied you up. But then something came to you. The person knew where I lived. Before you knew it, you were tearing out of your room as fast as you could. Everything in front of your eyes seemed to lose its contours. If they watch you here, chances are the killer is still in your house. The icy horror made your mind go blank. You almost ran into the street when someone blocked your way. Out of fright, you screamed and hit the man in front of you as hard as you could. But you were grabbed by the shoulders and stopped where you were. That hurt, probably? Goddamn. Goddamn, Nick, you were totally out of line. Wait, out of time? Why would he be out of time? Get out of the way. You didn't even try to control your voice and yelled right in the guy's face. I'm sorry, did something happen? You look so scared. Yeah! In truth, Nick's voice brought you to your senses and you felt your heartbeat gradually return to normal. You tried to catch your breath again. I'm sorry, this is totally messed up. Nick gently extended his arms towards you, perhaps to embrace you, but immediately yanked them away. I really can't talk right now. I have to go to the police. Maybe you should just call them. Your neighborhood isn't the most favorable. It's already so late. Something might happen to you. You realize that sounds pretty sensible. You're right. Please sit with me for a while. I don't want to be alone, at least until the police arrive. Sure, no problem. You and Nick went home. The guy looked around and closed the door behind him. I can't offer much choice in which to eat, to be honest. Can I make you some coffee? Let me do it myself while you call the police. I'll be here, I promise. Forever. Huh? What? Yes, I blinked. I literally blinked. But I know what I saw. The phone was somewhere in the room. I'm right there. You went back to your bedroom and started looking for your cell phone. And of course it's gone. When you turned each thing over for the third time, your patience snapped. Oh, it is actually gone. The maniac didn't kill you, but took your phone instead? What a goody-goody. You felt somehow cheap. God, why am I doing this? Why didn't I just ask Nick for the phone? I mean, he should definitely have one. Okay. He was already drinking his coffee, and you saw the cup with the second one on the table beside him. You took the chilled drink and drank it in a few big gulps. I can't find my phone. Can I use yours? Oh, and thank you. You're welcome. Tell me what happened so I can tell them everything in detail. You're funny. After all that hectic day, I went home, and those two jerks were waiting for me. They caught up with me and threw me on the ground where, I don't know, they probably wanted to intimidate me with a knife. I can still feel the wound that they left on my stomach with the blade. And somebody... Wait, what the hell? Am I missing out so many weird things? What? You looked at Nick, who was waiting for you to continue the story. What do you mean? My eyes are very much open. Do I have to open them again? What's going on? Why am I acting like I don't have a choice? Why do I make such stupid decisions? What are you talking about? I literally just made a decision. Why am I telling you this? Why am I wasting my time when I can tell the police everything myself? Why did I let you in my house at all? Why am I like a freaking robot? Oh god. Did you realize that just now? What? It was as if this whole world, all these words didn't make any sense. You didn't know what he was talking about, but you didn't know what you were talking about either. You began to shake with the madness that was slowly consuming you. Oh, wait. I'm the one who's starting to shake. Huh? Who are you? Just look at you, so cute. So scared. Paranoid android. Why can't I make decisions anymore? Why is someone controlling me? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, let me stop. What am I gonna do? Hey, be quiet, darling. No one will answer you unless I want them to. Right. Look what I can do. You wanna see this neat trick I can do? Oh! Oh, it's not the nicest place for you. But the beach. Of course. He never misses a chance to make fun of me. You just embarrassed me in front of the love of my life. Well, that's enough. I'm not in the mood for jokes anymore. Go back to the beginning. What do you mean, no? Forgive me, my love, but I don't accept that answer. Come on, go back to the beginning. I promise you'll be fine. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay, have it your way. You'll get tired of it someday. Are you serious? Someone killed them all, but me? Oh my gosh. I have this strange feeling that something is going wrong. That sounds awful. Poor thing. Those freaks scared you so much. It scared me. You didn't seem to hear what I was saying. You felt a little bit dizzy. Someone killed 2 people right in front of me. Yes, I heard you. Someone killed the people you wanted to beat, who wanted to beat you, who hurt you and frightened you. Did I regret it? It doesn't matter what they wanted to do. Oh crap, what's wrong with my head? Oh no. You squeezed your temples to muffle the throbbing pain that rippled through them. It's such a shame we have slightly different outlooks on life. But I still think that you're beautiful. I still think you beautiful? Incredible. You know, it's even so touching that you care even about people who deserve to die. What are you talking about? Damn, I'm gonna throw up. You clutched at your stomach. It's almost impossible to breathe. Everything was spinning. Can I please just die now? It's so weird. So then he grabbed you and pulled you to him, covering your mouth with his hand. You felt your body cramp up, and the warm, sour contents of your stomach pour out of your mouth, which couldn't come out because of the guy's firm grip. Ew? You started kicking and trying to escape from his grasp, but Nick only squeezed you harder and clamped his hand over your nose, leaving you with nothing to do but swallow your own. Oh my god! Oh! Nasty. Gross. Disgusting. Horrid. Oh my god, and then we just continue. I hate this. I hate this. Oh my gosh. That was terrible. It was really bad. Like, no. The guy let you go. You fell to the floor and started coughing. Nick knelt down and pulled you gently against him, stroking your head. Don't touch me. Don't come near me. You couldn't resist. Your eyelids were heavy. This bastard must have put something in your coffee. I'm sorry. I think I overdosed. Okay, you think? But if you vomit it out, I'd have to knock you out by force. I don't want to hurt you. That's so rude. You already did. I only want to love you. I'll be the gentlest. When you wake up, I'll give you something. I promise. Come on, go to sleep, my love. I'd like to. The guy gently stroked your hair, but the only thing you wanted to do was stab him. But desperate Despite all your resistance, your consciousness sank into darkness. It seems like you've been dreaming a dark, gloomy dream. No, it's more like a nightmare. No one heard your soul-shattering screams. All you had to do was sob in despair and loneliness and powerlessness. That a heavy, silent sigh and felt the tears running down your cheeks. Your still numb body was unresponsive, and you could hardly open your eyelids. Darling? Hey, look over here for a while. Come on. You can rest a little more after this. You heard a voice that made you shiver. Your heart raced and your stomach twisted with another wave of fear. Is this a gift? For me? You open your eyes slowly, trying to hold back the tears in your throat. Right in front of you sat Nick, holding out a rather large box wrapped in red decorative paper and tied with black ribbon. You flinched and started coughing sharply. The stench of dead meat hit you sharply in the nose, and it stung your eyes. You didn't have the strength to tell Nick everything you were thinking about him. Not even your enemy, your empty stomach, could spew out anything but gastric juice. Oh, I can see your eyes that you're not impressed by the smell. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just forgot to put them in the fridge. Anyway, I tried for you. Picked only the best pieces. Your brain wasn't thinking at all. All you could do was shed tears, unable to utter a word. It seems like it's hard for you to talk right now. Let me help you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the gift. You're so wonderful and thoughtful. Another answer? Seriously? You're so heartless. Just be compliant. Or complacent, whatever one it is. You're embarrassing me. It's the least I can do for you. It was really disgusting to touch those freaks, though. I was in such a hurry that I didn't even have time to clean myself up. Sorry about that. I really won't embarrass you anymore. I have to match you. Be as beautiful as you are. But of course, this is impossible. I'll never be able to equal you, my love. Oh, look at your present. You shook and immediately felt everything lose its shape. The box was filled to the top with rotten meat and organs that gave off a stench. If you could have screamed, you would have blown your voice. Nick blushed and smiled merrily, apparently feeling proud of his gift. Your consciousness was blacked out again. I'm so sorry that you have a body. One that'll hurt you and be the subject of so much of your fear. If thought is life and strength and breath, and the want of thought is death, then I'm happy. I'm a happy fly, if I live or if I die. Poetry? Really? From time to time you would regain consciousness, but only for a moment. In the background there were sounds of soft chanting that you could hardly make out. You never realized how much time had passed, but judging by how much your body was numb, you were in the same position for a long. There was a nasty sour taste in your mouth. It was hard to even breathe. You only heard some noise in the background. No sign of Nick was in the room. You decided to try to open your eyes and look around. It was useless. There were only blurry spots in front of your eyes. You tried to move your arm. To no avail. I tied up. You whispered it softly, more to see if you could still speak at all. Honey, are you okay? Are you awake? To tell you the truth, I was starting to worry that you wouldn't wake up when dinner was ready. But you're right on time, as always, so perfect. A cold sweat broke out on your body, and your breath caught in horror. You tried to shout, but nothing came out. Only a wheeze escaped from your mouth. Oh yes, sorry for the inconvenience, but I really tied you up. At least so that you don't fall off your chair. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Nick gently stroked your cheek. You tried to bite him, but it didn't work. His hand was unimaginably icy. Come on, don't be naughty. I don't feel pain anyway. You want to bite me, only if you do it out of love for me. Oh my gosh. Nick exhaled hotly and put his wrist to your mouth. but you just gathered all your strength and spat on his hand. He didn't say anything to that, just grunted and gently grabbed your face, but you could feel his fingers trembling with anger. Nothing, I understand, it's all good. He seemed to be saying it to himself. Come on, open your eyes, look what I have for you. You blinked a few times. In truth, you felt your strength returning to you every minute. Okay, is this actual food? The first thing you felt was an unexpectedly wonderful smell of fried meat, which made your mouth fill with saliva. Nick was holding a beautiful piece of meat in his hands, served with potatoes and fragrant herbs. It seems that this bastard was more than good at cooking. What the hell, you drugged my coffee, tied me up, even made me swallow my own vomit. And now you're cooking me food? If you want to seem like a nice guy, then maybe you'll let me go first? Why did you do all this? You tried to swallow all the insults that you wanted to shout in his face, but decided that it was better to keep your mouth shut now. But I'm already a good guy. I can see how your eyes are shining in anticipation when you'll be able to taste this wonderful meat. I'll be even more wonderful when I finally fulfill your wish. In truth, you have no idea how much effort it costs not to eat it ahead of time. But I'm so good. Such incredible endurance. Not given to every person. The dish is not just a piece of meat. This is our division of love. Almost a child. Only we won't eat the baby, unlike this meat. Or will we? Nick laughed viciously at his words. You were trying to restrain yourself from starting to yell at him. Hey, you know what? I think I don't even mind letting you go. Come on, get up on both feet and do whatever you want. You can run away, or you can stay. You didn't believe Nick and growled angrily, but he came up to you and slowly untied the rope that chained you to the chair. You no longer tried to find logic in the actions of this madman. Finally, you felt that you could breathe deeply. But for now, your body is too weak to escape. So you decided to wait a little longer. Have you decided to stay with me? God, I'm on fire. It was so embarrassing. Darling, you know exactly how to make a happy person who is in love with you. Suddenly, you shuddered. Pain went through your body. You could not understand the source of this feeling and began to frantically look around your body. You finally realized that your legs are so numb that you can't feel them. Oh my gosh. Is something wrong? Nick was smiling like a child who had been bought a long-awaited toy. I can't feel my legs. Help me get out from behind the table. I want to examine them. You don't want anything bad to happen to me, do you? Nick started and hurriedly approached you. Of course, I would never forgive if something happened to you. Nick gently pushed you out from behind the table. Your heart seemed to stop, and a heart-rending scream burst out your throat. Legs, where are they? I don't have them. Gosh, tell me I'm just dreaming.
Bruh.
You were choking on tears and were hysterical. Nick was standing right in front of you and watching it. Did it really hit your psyche so hard? It's just your legs. I will love you absolutely in any way, my dear. I don't care what you look like. You didn't hear what Nick was saying. It felt like your eardrums burst from the volume of your scream. You didn't realize how much time had passed, but in the end your voice was so hoarse that it hurt you to even breathe. There was no spark in your eyes anymore. There was no life in them. They were empty. Nick has already tried to force you to eat meat several times, but you only screamed and vomited when you thought that this delicious smelling dish is your precious flesh. There was a silence in the room. You couldn't scream or cry anymore. You couldn't do anything else. Absolutely nothing. I was smiling sweetly as if everything was fine. My love, you want to taste a piece? Oh my gosh. Okay. Really? I want to give you a gift that was made by my hands. I was out of breath while I was dragging the two idiots' bodies back to my house, away from that dump. I dug through their rotten, filthy corpses. I got dirty in their disgusting blood. I even made a box with my own hands. And you now refuse to simply accept it? My god, I'm in love with a monster. What? Me? You're just a moral freak. That's awful. You wanna make me cry? Good for you. I hope you enjoyed your act to the fullest. But you're going to die and fall into the same box. And don't worry, I'll keep your corpse in my fridge forever. You got a pretty fucking big fridge, if that's the case. You cried out in pain. A knife was stuck in your leg. Nick stabbed you several times, after which he cut the femoral artery. You were choking and crying in pain, but no one will find your corpse. He won't leave a single piece of it in the name of love. Ending. Oh my gosh. That was easy. Oh my gosh. It's not. Or maybe forget everything? I feel like I'm stuck in one place. It's like there's no way out and no new ending. As if I would get nothing at the end of this journey, nothing but pain, fear, and tears. I don't want that. I want a new path, a different future. I'll just start over. Good morning. I feel like there should be a good weather outside the window. I can smell my wonderful breakfast is ready. Who are you? Let's... Hi, degenerate. I love you so much. Okay. You need to tell yourself that every morning, then you'll be in a good mood. Right. You quickly got dressed and gathered all the necessary textbooks and notebooks. The sun's rays neatly illuminated your face through the slightly open curtains. I like the upgrade. It looks nice. There was no one downstairs anymore, just the still warm breakfast your parents had left for you. Oh, you happily ate everything quickly and mentally thanked your parents for the food. It was warm outside. A light spring breeze blew over you, and you breathed a full chest of fresh air. I love walking around the city. Too bad it's not that far to the university. I'll have to go for a walk after school with my friends. Maybe we should go to a cafe or a restaurant? I've wanted to go to a new place for a long time. You came to the institute quickly, though you tried to slow down. Already at the entry, several of your fellows waved hello to you. You like this place. Such a large number of potential acquaintances turned your head. You like talking to new people, making friends. Every day, you started with a good mood and a desire to finally go back to uni. Talk to your buddies and learn something new. It was wonderful. Your whole life was going great, and you were grateful for it. You went away from the noisy students to a place where there was no one else, except for one person. You looked around for him. Guess who? You smiled shyly and touched the cold fingers that covered your eyes. At the same moment, this someone removed his hands and jumped back with a squeak. Nick, did I guess right? As always. Oh my gosh. This is so nice. I'm actually starting to like this. The guy covered... This is nice. The guy covered mouth. What? The guy covered mouth? Covered his mouth with his hand and giggled. Oh, he's so charming. You're finally here. I'm so glad to see you. Come on. You're talking like we haven't seen each other in years. Nick rubbed the back of his head shyly. How much more obvious could he be about his feelings for you? You know how much I love you. It won't be enough for me even to be near you every second. You giggled and got goosebumps. You know very well that Nick loves you, but you're not dating. Why not? You don't know the answer to that question yourself. In fact, a few times you even made a move towards this relationship, but Nick immediately cut everything off and distracted himself. Oh, distanced himself. Why? It was really frustrating at first, but after a few conversations and a few years, You get used to it, although it really was hard to stay away from him and not do what couples do. You just had to remember to keep your distance, and that nothing would go beyond compliments, declarations of love, and shy touches. And yet you bit your lip with resentment. You couldn't live without him, but it seemed impossible to live with him in such a relationship, and every day you felt it more clearly. I'm confused. Why aren't we, like, kissing? Today turned out to be a little different. Something seemed to have changed forever, getting into your life, taking control of you. It feels like if I don't try now, I'll never be able to do it again. Try again? Sure. Maybe we would have spent more time together if you had started dating me after all. Oh. Nick went pale. He obviously couldn't answer that. Let's not talk about it anymore. I really love you. I want to touch you. I want to be near you. I want to make you happier. Oh. Nick, why can't you just not do that last part? It says something about tearing me into pieces or something. Let me see. Let me go back. And hurt me so badly. You felt the expression on his face as if it physically hurt you. You look so devastated. I'm sorry, I just wanted to... Yeah, let's forget about this conversation. Okay. Nick smiled and gently took your hand. You felt how cold his fingers were and how much they shook you. You're pretty early today. Usually I'm waiting for you, not the other way around. I think I won this race today. Nick smiled softly and stroked your head as if to soothe you. He loves to win. You always give me warmth. I love touching you so much. You touched your hot cheeks and tried to hide the shyness, but it was too obvious. No wonder. Warm blood flows in me. I'm alive after all. Oh, right. You remembered that Nick's body is cold, like he's a snake. It was a little weird, but he was always sickly and examined in the hospital, so it wasn't a threat to his health. Otherwise, doctors would have cured it long ago. Nick grinned for some reason. I hope you continue to keep me warm. I really do. You're the only one I let touch me. Again, you can never get used to how cute he gets around you. Breaks your heart. I think today is too nice to go to lectures, don't you think? Why don't we talk instead of studying? I'll take you to a movie tonight if you want. Sure, I'd love to spend time with you. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll even give you a kiss, but that's all I can take. You blushed thickly. A kiss? You barely held your hand for more than 5 seconds without starting to smile broadly, almost madly, and blush. Now you've already started to look away and rubbing your hair. And why such an incredible gift? I thought you didn't want to get that close to me. Did something happen? Nick bit his lip and chuckled. Aren't you happy about it? Of course I am, silly. It's just that it still hurts me, you know that. What? So for those who don't want to like pause, it says, I assure you if we get close, you'll know what real pain is. That's what he said. What? Nothing. I mumbled under my breath again. It's a really special day today. You can feel it too, right? Yeah, truth be told, I noticed that. This morning seemed unusual to me. Kind of like it didn't belong to me. Nick stroked your cheek and immediately pulled away, biting his lip. What? That's okay. I think it's just... Nick, you bit your lip again. You're bleeding. The guy smiled and licked the drop of blood dripping from his mouth. Oh, I know, sweetheart. Shall we go? You walked through a crowd of students. You were uncomfortable when you skipped classes, but next to Nick, all anxiety disappeared. He always said that he would protect you, that he would be there no matter what, and it was the truth. Sometimes it was hard for me to imagine that someone loved you so much. Nick liked listening to you more than he liked talking himself. So when you came out of the building and started winding Yeah, winding circles around it. You didn't stop talking for a moment. It must have been at least a few hours. We went to a couple of cafes where Nick bought you coffee and sweets. He usually didn't take anything for himself. Preferred a glass of water. You loved how genuinely happy he was to be around, but most of the time there was something about him that only you noticed. His eyes, they never smiled. No matter how hard you tried to make him happy, it would light up where there would be a spark in them. They were always dead. It used to scare you. Then you were just sad that you couldn't make him really happy. But now you know it's just his specialness. He was full of it. Sometimes you couldn't imagine that a person could combine so many rare features. He had pupils of different sizes. He felt almost no pain. His body was cold. He was incredibly tall. And finally, he had a twin brother, whom unfortunately you have never seen. You haven't seen his family as a whole. Every time you brought up the subject, his eyes became even more blank. But it was hard. Every time you wondered why you couldn't even see them in a photo, your heart started to ache. It's like he never let you get too close to him, despite all his love, despite all your love in return. The last hope. Nick, since today is such an unusual day, maybe you'll make an exception and introduce me to your parents, or at least show your family photo? The guy exhaled heavily, his smile fading in an instant. We've talked about it so often, haven't we? I'm not angry, but this conversation really hurts me every time. You look sideways. I know, but I really care about that. Do you think they won't accept me? They didn't even accept their own son. Oh. Nick almost spat those words out and hissed angrily. Sorry, did I scare you? I really don't want you to meet them. We're not family anymore, and we never will be. I'm sorry that I'm so weak in terms of emotions when it comes to talking about my family. But the truth is, you don't feel scared. Even when Nick raised his voice, you were only sorry to see how deep the past had left a scar on him. A lot of scars, which he concealed so diligently. It's okay, really. I'm sorry to have broached the subject again. I should watch my words more often. Apparently you looked too upset, so Nick leaned over slightly and kissed on top of your head. You both flushed, and he squeezed his wrist hard. You're my dearest person, you know that, don't you? You smiled happily. Of course you know. He reminds you of that almost every day. Every time you're happy, it's like you're hearing it for the first time. Nick gently rubbed your head. God, he's such a sweetheart. Let's talk about good things, shall we? Yeah, like how I'm about to get kicked out of uni for truancy. Not while I'm vouching for you. You laughed and lightly pushed Nick in the chest. And what are you going to tell them? Not to do that. Come on, I want to know those magic words. No words. I'll just smile charmingly at them, and they won't be able to resist. And if they don't succumb to your charm, then I'll have to go to extreme measures. And which one's my hero? I'll kill them all. And we'll have a nice dinner. You know how good a cook I am. It was gonna be a wonderful evening. You grinned crookedly. Nick often joked about these things, but you weren't amused by the humor. Nick realized that his joke didn't really make an impression on you, and began to babble quickly, as he usually did in situations when he said or did something wrong. It always amused you that he didn't know how to hide his excitement at all. Maybe he didn't mean to. You were flattered to think that he was just completely open to you about his emotions and feelings. Oh, it's so late already. I don't think we'll make it to the movies, especially since I didn't buy tickets in advance. I'm sorry. You giggled and rubbed Nick's cheek. You noticed long ago that the sun had gone down, but you didn't want to go to a crowded place so much that someone would interrupt your conversation. It's okay, we'll go another time. Maybe You could come stay with me tonight? I still want a kiss. Nick blushed thickly, his pupils dilated. He covered his face. A kiss? Oh god. This kiss better be spectacular if they're acting like this over it. Why did I make you this promise? Though perhaps today is the day when I can finally do it. You giggled again. He's so big and even slightly intimidating. The blush on his cheeks over such silliness almost made you cry with laughter. But still you went towards your house. But I didn't resist, only occasionally started muttering sometimes something to himself. You were a little dizzy. Usually Nick didn't stay late at your place, and now you were trembling with anticipation of how you would spend this evening. You entered the room and looked at Nick, frozen at the entrance. A sad smile shone on his face, illuminated by the moonlight. He was clutching his wrist, as if restraining himself from something, as if he was in pain. You looked into his eyes and realized that they were glistening with approaching tears. Was he really so upset by the situation? Like your last conversation? Nick, everything okay? I'm sorry, did I offend you in some way? Nick exhaled heavily and took a step back. No, it's all good. I'm well. We just got here so fast. I'm sorry that everything is coming to an end so quickly. Why do you keep doing that? What? The end? What are you talking about? Nick took a few wide steps and gently grabbed your chin. Just a couple of seconds, he stroked your face with his fingers and looked at you with such sincere love that your legs gave away. Then he leaned over and kissed you on the cheek. He didn't immediately pull away, starting to kiss all the other parts of your face. Nose, forehead, cheeks, eyes, and finally you pulled him to you, kissing him on the lips. His mouth was hot. You felt the piercing in his tongue, which he passed over your lips. Your heart was beating wildly, drowning with the noise of your rapid breathing and noisy exhalations. He ran his hands over your body, stroking your back and hips. It was as if you were slowly melting from his touch. He pressed his hot body against you and threw you on the bed without breaking the kiss. Before you know it, he's already left you in your underwear. The words leave me. They're gone. But you didn't feel shy around him, letting him examine and touch you. Nick went down to your neck, giving you gentle kisses and tickling hot breath. The guy ran his tongue over it, which made you involuntarily moan. He went down lower, making you shudder and blush. When the tip of his tongue went over your stomach, you grabbed his hair and pulled it roughly out of an overabundance of feelings. This guy just smiled and considered it a challenge, starting to cover the bottom of your stomach with hot, wet kisses. Yeah, I got it. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Nick sat between your legs, gently pressing against one of them and squeezing the skin on it with his fingers. His hot breath burned you, made you shiver. Both of you have been wanting this for so long. Oh, for a long time. Whoops. Your bodies were shaking with anticipation. He didn't take his eyes off you. His gaze literally burned through you. It was again one of his games, in which you seemed to lose again soon. His face wet with sweat, gently gently rubbed against you, but the drops seemed to evaporate from the skin that was heated to the limit. With his other hand, he slowly reached for your underwear, running his long, still cold fingers under it, from which you shuddered and let out a moan. He touched you brazenly, without holding back. It did not look away, and it was maddening. Okay, he probably bit his lip again. Did you see that spark in my eyes? See this madness? It's all because of you. Only because of you. The guy smiled and snuggled closer. Oh my god. Isn't this a dream anymore? Nick's tongue ran along the inside of your thigh, leaving a wet trail and making you moan. He did not stop caressing you with his other hand. The guy exhaled noisily a bit, the tender skin noticeable. After which, he pulled away and licked the small cuts left from his fangs. Fangs. This pain was different. It only inflamed a desire that already overwhelmed you. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing that. You felt how wet you became. Oh. I was too busy trying to like figure out what stuff I was gonna get rid of that I completely described the first sentence. It was said. That's it. The guy easily caressed you at the bottom, occasionally moving his hand with a grin to enjoy your dissatisfied moan, and the way you raise your hips demanding continued caresses. Hope you won't regret it, sweetheart. I'll show you all my love. We'll become closer than ever. Nick began to breathe faster a bit into your flesh again. His caresses became a little more aggressive. You were going crazy with the desire for more, and his seemingly weightless touch only made you sob. But then you noticed that even after Nick's fangs sank into your skin, a bit through it, he didn't pull away. Nick, it's already getting hurt. The game has gone too far. Oh. But he didn't hear. The guy clenched his jaw harder and harder until you started kicking in pain. Tears sprang from your eyes, and a scream escaped from your throat. It seemed to you as if you heard your tissues being torn. Your body was shaking with intense pain. It didn't obey. You could not resist, and for a second it went dark in your eyes. That's a shame. Your leg felt like it was on fire. You could hardly feel Nick stroking you soothingly. The hellish pain has passed. The heat's been followed by a cold passing through your whole body. You were able to look down, hoping that it was all just a dream, but a terrible picture appeared before you. It was more like a nightmare. You really lacked a piece of meat, which was now in the mouth of a smiling Nick. You feel it too? The heat and excitement? Your flesh is in me. I've tasted it. You're just incredible. Oh my god. The guy was choking with excitement, but you couldn't stop crying from pain and fear. Oh, does it hurt? I'm sorry, I'll help you now. The feeling of hellish discomfort has not disappeared anywhere, but then you felt something. Pleasure? Your brain seems to have stopped receiving that you are being eaten as something terrible out of the norm. Now it was a kind of manifestation of love. You touched your chest, your heart was beating painfully. The heat from it spread through your veins, consciousness clouded. You began to breathe rapidly as if you were covered with a fever. Your whole body is filled with excitement and an unexpected thirst for blood. Am I craving myself? To eat myself? Or are we like craving to eat him too? You clung to Nick's neck and ran your fingers into it, feeling warm blood spreading under them. The guy moaned and leaned forward, helping you tear his flesh. Okay, so I was right. Hot blood dripped onto your body. The air was saturated with the sweet smell of iron. Nick arched his back and after another moan joined your lips, alternating passionate kisses with rough bites. You wound deeper and deeper. Your hands were completely covered in blood. He was shaking violently. You heard the clang of iron and realized that he finally got rid of his pants, which painfully hid his excitement. Nick gave you access to his neck, which you happily began to bite through. The guy bit his wrist and took off his wet underwear. Passing... I'm not finishing this sentence. No! Dude. Gosh. You felt hot iron from the realization that now you really tasted each other. You were in love, and this form of your love is above any feelings. You're shivering. Come on, I want to hear what's on your mind right now. Don't be shy. What's more? You licked your lips and exhaled, almost moaning. I want to tear you to pieces. I want to get my hands under your skin. Wow, that's one way to put it. You know? The guy pressed his hips against you, and with a contended exhalation, rubbed his excited, hot... The rest of the sentence is for you. Well done, you deserve a reward for your obedience. For your sincerity. Especially down here. The rest of the sentence is yours. That's for you guys. You sincerely beg him to continue. It was a sincere feeling of love. The guy smiled and simultaneously, with licking your wound again, began to caress you below. Your body was struck by an electric current. You arched your back and clenched your legs as if hiding. The guy laughed and bit the bare tissues of your leg without stopping the stimulation with his hand. That first part is all y'all. It's so cute. I couldn't even dream of it. I'll eat you. I swear. I won't even leave a piece. You will beg me for it. You will cry out in pain. And I will consider it my highest reward. You were overwhelmed with hot desire clouding your mind, to put your hands on his warm insides. To break his bones. Pain. With love. Oh, like love. You wanted to be closer, to break him, to tear him apart. Show your true feelings, to go beyond the boundaries of normal. Was that what he felt all the time? Because of this crazy feeling he didn't want to touch you? You bit your lip. It'd drive you crazy to think that someone want you so much. Oh, 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 oh. Nick scratched your skin, ate your flesh, and drank your blood. Which is why you flooded the room with loud moans and sobs. His hand continued to stimulate your sensitive spots, which caused your body to be shot through with discharges. This is like next level type freaky, bro. This is crazy. You could arrive from just the pain in the sight of your lover devouring your flesh. The guy breathed hotly in your ear and almost mockingly held his between your legs without going further. From time to time, Nick took his hand away and, mixing your lubricant with blood, bent down and licked his lips. After that, for the show, he ran his fingers over his erect, which you wanted to feel so much in yourself. Because of this spectacle, a heated Nick smeared with your blood, torn flesh, and his clouded, full of desire look, you, without noticing it, began to quietly beg the guy to finally... You finish the sentence. Tear out another piece of meat and finally give the opportunity to tear Nick apart. The guy briefly moved closer to you, and after a short hot kiss, went down again, settling between your legs. Your head was spinning, probably from all the lost blood, but no less from excitement and heat. You didn't hold back. Whoa. Whoa. Your body shook every time Nick's tongue passed over your sensitive spots. You no longer felt shame, only insane pleasure, and an unquenchable thirst for the continuation of his touches. It's like, I don't know, something is clearly wrong with me. Clearly. I think I need psychological evaluation. You only heard the wet sounds that filled the room. Your moans and heavy breathing of an excited Nick. Nick kept touching you with his free hand, scratching and tearing your skin. You screamed when you felt the blade on your stomach. At the same time, you shook an organism. The guy never left you for a second, giving you the most beautiful pain and the most unbearable pleasure at the same time. The pain is beautiful, and the pleasure is unbearable. Right. With every second, your vision became more and more blurry. You slowly began to lose touch with reality. Now you realize why Nick looked so devastated. You enjoyed every second of this evening, remembering every wound given to you by your lover. Oh. Nick, I love you. Please don't leave a single piece of me. I bequeath to you my body, my soul, my blood, and my love. Enjoy it and remember it until your very last breath. Of course, my love. You remain mine forever. We will become one. You touch Nick's hair for the last time, after which your consciousness sank into darkness forever. Well, it seems that this was the end. It upsets me. It really upsets me, but nothing lasts forever. It's not in my power to prolong our love, to stay here a little longer with you. You're probably a little embarrassed that I'm talking to you and not— oh my fuck. I can't. I'm shaking. I'm shaking. I'm being stirred. But you were the one who managed all this, weren't you? Yes. And since you're here listening to me, it means your feelings are as strong as mine. Though, what am I talking about? It would only be a little fun for you, but I will never forget it. I exist. I feel only when you are here. You're my whole world, my whole life. I love you. Thank you for all the time you spent with me. Unfortunately, I wasn't a typical romantic. This world belongs to me, so since you have stayed, then you are satisfied with my manifestation of love. Mad love. Maybe we'll meet again, who knows? Thank you for everything. You know, I've done a lot of bad things. That's why I'm here. Where I can't hurt anyone. Where we can both enjoy the blood. I could talk forever. You are the one and only for me. Be happy. I love you, Nick. The end. What? That? In the corner! Oh my gosh, that was it. What a trip, right? That was pretty good. It's not gonna lie. That was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna say, oh, that was terrible. No, I'm not gonna be an idiot. And I'm gonna say that. I'm not stupid. Anyways, that was Rotten Dinner. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, of course. And if you did, prove it to me. Right? By giving the video a like, right? And subscribe for more this or anything else. And of course, also hit the bell so that you know when I upload and go live as well, because you never know, I could switch it up on you out of nowhere. So with all of that being said, I will see you guys next time.